Hey guys, I just wanted to send out a little cry for help here. The last few days it's been windy here. Not horrible windy by any means, but just kind of a gusty wind from time to time. And the other day I come out and my corn on this corner here was laid over as if, the dog had run through or something. And I didn't really think the wind could have knocked it over like that because it was just a couple stalks right on the corner that were laid over. And so I put this fence around it just for something for it to lean up against to keep it stood back upright. And I hilled up the roots a little better. And then a few days later, I came out and over here on this corner, it was laid down. Now, the first day that it happened, I did notice also that my tomatoes over there were laid over kind of from that corner, were laid over this direction. So it was as if we caught a straight line wind from that corner and it cut right across the garden and clipped these corn as well. So then I strung up the string there, if you can see it, see the rebar post and the piece of yellow twine to tie it up on this side to support it. And that seemed to be working. And then here's my other corn patch. Well, I come home today and it is windier today than it has been the other days, and my corn is just laid over. I mean, it's like it has no strength at all, no strength to support itself. I've got two theories. One is that I planted it extremely thick, and that was kind of experimentary just to see. The soil underneath of it is basically pure horse manure, so I know it's got the nutrients it needs, but I think with it being so dense, maybe it doesn't have the strength. I don't know if it just hasn't developed a good root system. The other question is if the soil is actually too loose and that it hasn't managed to put roots down into a hard, solid soil. Because the stalks aren't broken. If you look at them, they're not broken at all. They're just, they're just leaned, It's as if somebody just walked up and just pushed them over. But that one, that one's laid plumb over, flat. So I'm going to try to stand them up and see what I can do to keep them growing upright. I hate to lose my corn crop just because it's a little windy, but everything. I've noticed, I've noticed it on almost the whole garden. It's as if everything I've got just doesn't have the strength to withstand a little wind. So I'm just asking if anybody else that's trying to do intensive gardening like I am, where we're really cramming stuff into raised beds, and if anybody else has experienced this. I know I sent a cry out to Texas Prepper 2, who I'm subscribed to. He had a bunch of his corn planted in shallow trays, basically in pure nitrogen. He's the one I actually got the idea from, to plant it so thick and leave it so thick. Yeah, I just didn't know if anybody else had any ideas or thoughts. Here's my most recent planting coming up, and I have it planted thick right now, but I think I might go through and thin it to see if maybe that helps and it doesn't get up laid over like the other stuff. And then here's what I'm doing here. I've got 2 hills of pumpkin starting, and then in this open space here I'm going to do another planting of corn in about a week or so, and that should pretty well fill that space up and let the pumpkins grow out between the corn stalks, and hopefully they won't try to climb the corn too much. And then yeah, I've just got these peppers were actually planted last summer and made it through the drought all winter long, and actually are fruiting pretty good. They got hit. They're looking pretty scruffy because of the cutworms. I told y'all how the cutworms destroyed all my potatoes that were in here. Well, the tomatoes got hit pretty hard, or the peppers, I'm sorry, got hit pretty hard by those, but they're coming out of it. And everything else is just cruising right along. There's my tomato beast. But, I got an update I'll tell you all about. I told you my HOA, or my trail association, hates me for having my stuff in the right-of-way back here, and I thought they were going to be decent human beings and let it slide on the premise that, I'm trying to improve the place. I'm planting fruit trees back here because people walk their dogs back here, and I thought, people walk by, pick an apple, pick a peach, enjoy it, be nice. Well, that's against the rules. For any of you that don't live in cities where you have homeowner associations and trail associations, you might not know what I'm talking about, but these people are pretty, I guess strict is the nicest way you can say it. According to them, this whole power line easement that you see going down here and behind my house and going down the other way, it's all mowed and nice and neat, and that's because me and each of my neighbors mow it to keep it looking nice. But according to the trail association that owns this property, we are to let this grow up in weeds and brush and thorns and stickers, and maybe someday the power company will come through and mow it down to maintain their lines, but I don't see that happening. Anyway, I've been ordered to cease mowing back here, otherwise I could actually get fined for it since I'm trespassing and altering their property, and I'm ordered to move my fruit trees or else they're going to come through and rip them out. So, you know, talk about a world where society has gotten so dumb that they don't even realize their own flaws. You know, here I am out of the best that I can be, trying to be generous and neighborly, and I'm getting slapped on the wrist for it and told not to do it. So now I've got 2 plums, the goji, which has finally started growing, I was so excited about, and I'm going to have to uproot it again, 2 blueberries, peach and nectarine, all have to be moved on their orders, or they will rip them out and fine me for the time that it takes them. They'll try to bill me for the service of them ripping them out. They did say that I could keep all of my blackberries and my grapes here because they're within 3 foot of the fence, but I don't know. I think my cries are in vain. I have yet to meet a person that says they beat the homeowners association or they beat the trail association because they've got better lawyers and more stubborn people. But anyway, I didn't mean to rant. I wanted to ask you all about the corn. Don't forget about the corn. That's the purpose of this video. But I just got the trail association on my mind. I was at the meeting last night and I tried to talk sense to them, and it's not going to happen. So I'm gonna try to get on the board and destroy him from the inside out. But I asked about getting on the board, and they said, well, that's up to the board. The board is who decides whether or not you get on the board. So basically, they're gonna see me as that young punk kid that's threatening their way of life, and you know, all those old scrubs aren't gonna want me getting in their way. So I highly doubt I'll ever get on the board, despite my efforts and intentions. But anyway, think about the corn. Comment. Let me know. Let me know if you've ever seen anything like it or any ideas on how to tie it up and fix it up. And until then, keep me in your thoughts and prayers as I embark on my massive plant relocation to keep my government happy. See ya.